The Apprentice, surprisingly, isn't based on Donald Trump's reality TV series with the same name. Instead, it covers Donald Trump's career as a real estate businessman in New York between the 1970s and 80s, as well as his relationship with lawyer Roy Cohn. In fact, the movie should have been called Trump and Cohn. Half the movie is Cohn taking young Trump under his wing to teach him his 3 rules for life, not to be confused with Jordan Peterson's 12 rules for life. Cohn was a closeted gay man who threatened other gay men legally to financially better himself. He also criticised homosexuality publicly as a danger to society. Did he hate himself for being a homosexual, or was he just playing the part? Probably both. The Telegraph was quick to show they were Trump supporters, bragging it only made a mere $1.6 million on its opening weekend in the United States, ranking 10th and finishing below such pictures as Terrifier 3, Joker, Folie à Deux, I don't know if I pronounced that right, and perhaps most embarrassingly, the re-release of The Night Before Christmas, a 30-year-old film that most of its audience could have seen via a streaming service if they so wished. So far, The Apprentice has grossed over $4 million worldwide, already a quarter of the film budget, so I'm confident it'll be a slow burner and at least break even. An international co-production between Canada, Denmark, Ireland, and the United States. It struggled to find American distribution due to the subject matter and an attempt by Trump's legal team to block its release. Regardless of how accurate you find the portrayal of these characters or your political leanings, it shouldn't stop you from enjoying the movie. Through his life, Trump yo-yos between political ideologies, which is all documented online. Even Donald Trump might enjoy watching until a certain scene later on. I'll not spoil it. The 2 hours of The Apprentice flew by and it left me wanting more, which is the earmark of a great film. We see the humanity of the characters, mainly Trump in the first act, his first wife Ivana in the second, and Cohn in the final third. Though the biggest shock to me was in the beginning, seeing Trump drive his own car and collect rent from the tenants. I find that hard to believe. I'd love to see a sequel during the 90s and 2000s, showing Trump's series of bankruptcies and how he bounces back, as well as the other women he hooks up with and marries, meeting the famous Jeffrey Epstein and many other fine moments. I'm gonna look to Wikipedia here. Jeremy Strong, who played Roy Cohn, said, "This is a Frankenstein movie. They told us not to frame it like that, but let's be honest. Cohn's malign legacy is one of denial, and that's what he passed on to Trump. This detestation of the world and a need to punish and act out with hatred." Trump describes the film as a cheap, defamatory and politically disgusting hatchet job, and describes those involved in it as human scum. To prepare for the role during pre-production, Sebastian Stan, who played Trump, listened to tapes of a younger Trump's voice, spoke to friends with an earphone in his ear of Trump's voice, and did daily tasks like brushing his teeth, going to grocery shopping, and sleeping thinking about the President of the United States, even practicing how his mouth moves, like some cast members of Saturday Night Live. He's had a talent to imitate people since childhood. In addition to this, Stan thought of how he was told about the American dream after when he moved from Romania to the United States of America. His mom took him to see New York City's skyscrapers. In anticipation of filming, Stan consumed peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and Coca-Colas to gain weight. Can't make it up. When the film got temporarily suspended, he started bulking up in order to reprise his role as Bucky Barnes in Marvel's Thunderbolts, but he had to frustratingly reverse course when Marvel Studio production got suspended as well, thanks to 2023's Writers Guild of America and SAG-AFTRA strikes. Rooney writes the film examining the rise of winners and losers, thinking of American life from the cynicism of the Nixon years From the rise of corporate greed during the Reagan presidency of the 1980s, billionaire Dan Snyder, formerly the owner of Washington Commanders' NFL team, donated money to the production of The Apprentice with the impression that the film would be a positive portrayal of Trump. I don't know what planet he was on. After seeing a cut of the film in February 24, Snyder was said to be furious, and lawyers of the Kinetics production company sought to oppose the release of the film. The film includes controversial scenes. If you don't want spoilers, click off. Including those that depict Trump violently raping his first wife, Ivana, abusing amphetamines in order to lose weight, and undergoing liposuction and plastic surgery to remove a bald spot. The rape scene was based on divorce records. In a deposition under oath rendered during the divorce proceedings, Ivana accused Trump of rape and of pulling out her hair by a handful when his plastic surgery to alter his hairline failed. If he had any sense, he would have shaved it off. Sherman cited Trump Biology, Lost Tycoon, The Many Lives of Donald J. Trump by Harry Hurt as the main source of Trump's use of amphetamines, and says, "There's been other reports over the years that Trump, in the 80s, took these pills that are essentially amphetamines, and they kind of give you manic energy. It's always been one of those explanations of why he went on this deal-making binge. I felt it was one of those themes of the film. As Trump gains more power, he loses touch of his own humanity. I thought of the diet pills as him trying to develop this superpower of never needing to sleep." Variety reported that Trump's attorneys sent a cease and desist letter to the filmmakers seeking to block all marketing, distribution and publication of the movie. The film's producers responded to the letter by issuing a statement saying, "The film is a fair and balanced portrait of the former president." Well, he's president now. "We want everyone to see it and then decide." I found those facts interesting and thought I would read out to you guys straight from the Wikipedia's mouth.